Once your provider has set up your account, your provider is going to provide you with access information to your web hosting account. Now for Hub, you get access information like your IP address. Since it's a VPS server, you get access information like your IP address and the login to the control panel that was installed for you. Now, if you become an advanced user, you may decide to choose and install by yourself the control panel you want. But as a beginner, when you are getting your Hub reseller account, you could additionally tell them that you want them to install a control panel for you, and then that will be done for you. Now, once that has been done for you, you get an email that will tell you that your account has been created, and that email is going to contain the login credentials to your account. Now, here's a sample of the kind of account that you get. Now, this is your IP address right here. It is usually for a grouping of 4 sets of numbers. So you have 162.19.47.76. That's the IP address to this server that I'm going to be working with. So once you get your account, you would have your IP address as well. Now for this server that has just been purchased, you have sent OS control panel already installed. That's control web panel has already been installed on this server. And then in order to access that control panel so that I can start working, I can access that control panel by going to this link, which is the IP address, HTTP, the IP address, then 2030, or I go to SSL link, which is just, the difference is just that this is HTTP and this is HTTPS, and then this is 2031. So let me just go here, and I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to put that in here, and then I'm going to go to that URL. Now once I come to that URL, you would see that I have the control panel for my web hosting already configured for me. So I just need to grab the username and the password to that web hosting account. The username is root, and then the password to that account is that. Let me just get this password right here, and then I put in this password. Now once I put in this password, I would be taken into the dashboard of my web hosting account. Now this is your office. This is where you do your work. This is where you control your business. This is where you set up everything. This is where you manage your customers. And the first thing you want to do is you want to get familiar with this dashboard. So once you have your dashboard, you get something like this. And then you need to begin to configure your dashboard. So you have a lot of security issues right now. Your firewall is down. You need to turn it on because your firewall gives protection to your account so that you don't get hacked. So you need to turn on your firewall and then just turn it on. And once you click on that, firewall is currently disabled, you need to enable firewall. Now, there are a lot of things that will not work just yet on this, your dashboard. Why? Because you are using the free version of this control panel. Remember, in previous videos, I explained that this control panel that you are going to be working with actually comes at a price of around $1.50 per month, and that gives you access to the pro version of this software, this control panel. In my opinion, I think $1.50 is not too much to put down for a service that gives you the power to make so much money every month by building a business on top of it. So it's important that you get your CWP Pro license. I'm going to be showing you how to get it in a moment. But I just want to try to see if firewall can be turned on. Most things will not work until you get that pro license. You get the full power of this control panel when you have a pro license. So here you have firewall has now been turned on. So basically, with this control panel, you can manage your VPS server, and what you just want to do is you just want to get familiar with using this control panel. Like I said earlier, one of the first things you want to do is you want to get your pro license. So what you want to do next after firewall has been turned on is that you want to scroll down to the bottom and you want to go to activate CWP Pro. So if you don't have CWP Pro, before you click this activate, go down here to the version, the CWP Pro version here, and then just do get CWP Pro. Now, once you click on get CWP Pro, you'll be taken to the control web panel site. And then when you get here, you would see the pricing. You can get at $1.49 per month, and there's $11.99 per year. And you can just click to get CWP Pro. Now, when you click to get CWP Pro, of course, you sign up, you do your registration, you sign up, and then you get your server IP address. So the IP address of your server, like I explained earlier, is this 162.19.47.76. Your web host is going to provide this for you. So you put in the IP address of your server right there, and then you click add to cart. And once you click to add to cart, you open an account, and then you make your payment of $1.49. So that's it. So from here, all you need to do is check out, and then you make your payment of $1.49. Once your payment of $1.49 has been made, you can come back here and you can do a reboot of your server to activate that CWP Pro license. So you want to wait for your payment to be confirmed and be sure that the payment for that CWP Pro has been done. And then once it has been done, you can come in here under navigation and do a search for reboot. So what you want to do is to immediately activate that CWP Pro. You want to do a reboot of your server. So you just say reboot server now. And then once you click to reboot server now, just wait like, of course, a reboot of your server means that you are restarting your server, just like restarting a phone or restarting a computer. You are restarting your server. It means that server is going to shut down, and then the server is going to come back up again. So when you reboot your server, that period where the server shuts down and comes up again, your sites will be offline. All your client sites, all your own sites will be offline. Because you are using a VPS server, the reboot process should be very, very fast, and it should not take more than a minute. But for that 1 minute, your services would be down. So what you want to do is just wait, and then once it's back on, you can just refresh and your dashboard would come back up. Now, once your dashboard is back up, you can continue with the configuration of your control panel. Once you get the pro license of CWP, which I just did for this server, you would notice that when you scroll down, you would see that under CWP here, you have your license and it is now active. Now, the pro license would give you the ability to use all the features available on your control panel, all the features. So what you want to do next is you want to make sure that all your security features are turned on. And then you have these notifications here, and you have this notification here. You can see we have 6 notifications here, and then we have security issues here. So what we want to do is we want to fix all these security issues. I'm going to start with mod security. I'm just going to click here to enable it. I just want to make sure that all the default security are all turned on. So for mod security, I want to pick the third one here, and then I want to install mod security. So I'm just going to do install. It'll just take a moment and it will be installed. So basically, everything you need to do to run your web hosting business is all on screen. You point, you click, and you get things done. And you have the installation log telling you that mod security has now been installed on your server. So you have here, you have mod security has been installed, and we recommend using Commodore WAF, which is what has been set here, and you can now see mod security is installed. The next thing is you want to have CSF LFT, which has been done when we did firewall. We enabled firewall earlier, and that's your CSF has been installed as your firewall. You want to always make sure that this firewall is enabled. It is very important. So I'm just going to close these notifications, these two notifications, and then it's saying that we have some security issues. Okay, we are just going to close this. Most of that has now been taken care of. Now you can check here to see what other notification is available. We've done most of the notification problems, but then you also want to put in your notification alert email. So you want to know when there are security issues with your server. And in order to do that, what you want to do is just to click in here and you put in your email address. So you just put in your email address in here and then you save it, so that once there are issues with your server, you would automatically be alerted. If someone is trying to break into your server, you get a notification. If someone has logged into your server, you get a notification. That's very important. Now, once all of these has been done, the next thing you want to do is you want to pick your web server settings. So you can just go to web server settings and you want to select web servers. Now, there are different types of server settings that you can pick, but for the purpose of you running a web hosting business, you can just go with the default, which is Apache only. So just pick Apache only. If you need to change it in future, you can come back here and you can do a change. So just come here, pick Apache only, and then save and build, and it will be done for you. And if you decide you want to change your web server settings anytime, you can come here and you can do that. The next thing you want to make sure that you always set up and you always make sure it is running on your server is you want to come to your dashboard, and then you want to come under mail servers right here, and you want to make sure that all these services are running. Now, your postfix mail server is responsible for you sending out emails. Now, once your postfix mail server is down, if it is not active here, your customers will not be able to send mails. When they send emails, it will not go through. So you want to make sure that this is always running. Your dovecote is also important. It has to do with your emails and how they are being read. So if this server is also down, people will not be able to access their emails. So always make sure that under your mail server, you want to turn on all this. So I'm just going to start the OpenDKIM. I'm going to start the Amavis, that's the virus scanner. I'm going to start Spam Assassin. I'm going to start ClamAV. So I have all these services started. And then you have your server settings. Right now, SSH is down. We'll talk about that in more advanced videos of this course. But for now, just leave this as it is. So you have all of this, and then you have your admin panel is almost ready. Now, before I exit this video and start the next video, I want to show you how you can configure your PHP settings. Now, as a web host, sometimes you have your customers coming to you to request things like PHP versions. So you have a customer can come to you and say, oh, I want PHP 7, I want PHP 8. Now, you as a web host should be able to provide this. This is one of the things you should be able to do as a web host. You should be able to give to your customers. And in order to do that, what you want to do, because it's very important I point this out to you very early in this video, and then when you are faced with this challenge, you remember you can always come back and you can always watch this video to see how it is done. So what you do is that you come under your PHP settings here, and then you go to your PHP selector. And when you get to your PHP selector, you can install different versions of PHP. So for instance, the latest version of PHP is PHP 8.1, but it is not installed on your server. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to do PHP 8.1, I'm going to select it, I'm going to select PHP 8, I'm going to select it, I'm going to select PHP 7.4, I'm going to select all those versions of PHP, and then I'm going to say save and build. Now, if your customer in the future says he wants PHP 7, then you come here and install PHP 7 and make PHP 7 available. But for most purposes, PHP 7.4 down to 8.1 should be good. If there's a new version of PHP that comes up in future, maybe PHP 9, then you come back here and then you add it to your services so that your customers can have that. So I'm going to save and build, and then when you start the compilation, installing versions of PHP actually takes some time. So when you start the compilation, you would see that something is running on your server here, and you can view log. And when you view log, you would actually see things being done. You would see that the installation is in progress. So this can take a bit of time, and you have to be patient. Now, once it is complete, probably after an hour or 30 minutes or 20 minutes, you can see installation of all PHP versions can take 30 minutes. So it takes that much time. Now, once it has been installed for you, then your customers will also have that in their own control panel. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create your web hosting packages. And then we will now begin to practically see how money is made in the web hosting business. And then we can pick it up from there. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.